on an all-new Dr. Phil, a religious mother.
She thinks pop music is satanic and that any skirt over the knee is sinful.
I want her to do what's right.
Which is defined by you because you've got God on your side.
Yes.
A rebellious daughter.
I just see her having the most outrageous behavior.
Did she kick you out for voting for Hillary Clinton?
Yes, I did.
Is that why she's a sugar baby?
I do go on dates for money.
There's something wrong with you.
The way you raised me, you made me like this.
You're a waste of a life. I'm sorry, Dr. Phil, but...
You should be sorry. You've not said one positive thing about this young woman since you walked out here. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Thank you very much. Well, now Shirley says that she raised her 19-year-old daughter in a very strict Catholic household, which meant no short skirts, no pop music, no television, no drinking, no drugs, and definitely no sex before marriage. But ever since Shirley kicked her daughter out of the house for voting for Hillary Clinton, she says Marie has been living a double life. Wearing short skirts, getting tattoos, drinking, and worst of all, taking money from sugar daddies. Now, Shirley says she doesn't know where she went wrong, but Marie knows Shirley's overbearing rules pushed her into being a rebel. Take a look.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
I haven't seen my mom in months because she's just so overbearing and religious.
I want to show you some of my religious items here and how important they are to me.
My mom thinks pop music is satanic and that any skirt over the knee is sinful. I would not be allowed to wear this.
Marie has completely rejected her faith.
Cursing is a sin. Having sex before marriage is a sin. Most TV shows, it's a sin to watch those. Missing church is a mortal sin.
We went to Mass together, and I expected all my children to be there.
One time in 5th grade, I slept over at my friend's house and told my mom I was going to church with her when I wasn't. When my mom found out, she grounded me for 2 months.
I might have been too lax and not disciplined enough with her.
I used to go to an art high school. I had a lot of friends who were gay, and my mom thought they were dragging me into sin and that I was going to become a bad person.
It's just the immoral lifestyle I'm against.
My mom pulled me out of that school and put me in some weird Mormon charter school. I was so miserable, I started failing classes on purpose and skipping school twice a week.
I felt like I was doing the right thing, trying to keep rules.
Now that I'm grown up, I rebel because my mom was too strict on me.
I'm going to tell you the truth today, and some of it you're going to like, some of it you might not. I think your goal is to get her to conform to what you want her to do.
I want her to do what's right. That's all I know.
Which is defined by you, because you've got God on your side.
Yes.
Did you raise all your children the same?
Yes, I did.
Didn't have one set of rules for one and a set of rules for another?
No.
It was one...
It was all for all the children.
All
yes.
the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
the same.
treated the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody held the same moral yardstick.
Yes.
All right. Here are your rules, according to Marie, and I think you agree with them. I talked about them at the beginning. No pop music. Lady Gaga's like...
No way.
Yeah. Okay. No short skirts.
No.
Anything above the knees, bad news, according to her.
Yeah, I don't like revealing clothes for a girl. No.
Okay. No missing church. And no voting for Hillary Clinton, the baby killer.
Yes. Correct.
So you kicked her out over that, she says.
That was the first time I kicked her out, but then I took her back after that voting incident. But she was still home for 3 months after that. So I kicked her out for something out.
But you kicked her out at one point because she voted for somebody?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was kind of the final straw. I just see her having the most outrageous, reckless, dangerous behavior.
No drinking, no cursing, no working on Sundays, no sex before marriage, obviously. No friends that are not Catholic.
No, she's wrong on that if she told you that.
Okay, no gay friends?
Well, I would prefer it, but she has many gay friends. Some of them are okay, some of them are not. I can't control her. I'm just here to help her with her crazy, dangerous lifestyle that I've seen her express on Twitter. It's outrageous, it's scary, and it's dangerous, and I'm really afraid for her.
Marie has no idea that her family follows her every move on Twitter, but they have discovered pictures of her drinking, they've discovered pictures of her smoking pot, and even pictures of her posing naked. But Marie says she's just acting like any normal teenager who has finally been given a get-out-of-jail card. Take a look.
I want my daughter's illegal and immoral behavior to stop.
I don't want a relationship with somebody who thinks everything I do is sinful and evil.
The only way that I know what Marie has been doing in her life recently is looking at her Twitter feed.
When I go out and drink, I like to tweet and post, and I don't really care.
Marie posts on social media about partying, drinking, and doing drugs.
My favorite thing to drink is a malt liquor called Orange Mad Dog.
She even brags about having to spend the night in jail.
I have been arrested 2 times.
I know Marie is having sex outside of marriage, which is gravely sinful, but worst of all is the sugar daddies. That's prostitution.
I'll meet older men through the internet and go on dates with them and get money. It is simple. If I want to meet an older guy, there's actually an app on my phone that I use where younger girls can meet older guys. I use it when I need some money.
She has posted a few pics about her being in resorts, sugar daddy dates, having steak, filet mignon. She has to call all her sugar daddies because she has no money. It's obvious what she's doing.
I don't always give them anything sexual, but sometimes the relationship does go that way.
Marie is just totally out of control.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. Are you totally out of control?
No, I'm normal.
Do you think the majority of teenagers go on sugar daddy websites?
Maybe the ones that I know.
You think that's typical?
It's not too uncommon.
You think drinking and getting drunk is common?
Oh, that's very common.
Is that more common than going on websites and
Yeah.
having sex for money?
Yeah. It's not just sex for money. I do go on just dates for money.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Does it depend on how much money you need, or?
Yeah.
You've posted some things about this. I mean, you don't hide it, right? I mean,
No,
you're
I don't
upfront.
really care.
Like you posted this up and said, "I had to grind for this view."
Oh, that's a joke. That was at IKEA.
Well, let me in on the joke, though. I mean, what's the joke?
It's like I had to grind for this view, but the reality is I didn't have to do anything for that view. I'm just at IKEA in the, like, one of the kitchens. It's not, I don't know. It's not that funny when we, like, analyze it.
Yeah. Well, here's.
It's really not.
Yeah, and here's your tweet about the show. I got drunk and agreed to be on the Dr. Phil show. You put this up November 1st.
She's always talking about drinking or getting drunk or craving drink. She drinks a lot. She's an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic.
Shut up.
I looked at the topics of 159 of your tweets that were given to me by you. 9 concerned sugar daddies, 12 involved drugs, 19 troubles with the law, 20 involving marijuana, 21 sex, and 78 drinking. Out of 159, that was the breakdown.
That is a lot. I mean, drinking has the most. I just think that's funny.
Well, I don't know you anymore. You're a stranger.
That's fine.
You're a stranger.
Okay.
In a short time of 9 months, 8 months since you left the house.
Then I've always been a stranger.
Yeah, you've been a stranger for a while. Why?
Because I have to hide everything from you.
Why you been hiding all these years?
Because everything makes you angry. Of course I've been hiding from you. The way you raised me, you made me like this.
Yeah, your brothers don't feel that way.
They're not me.
There's something wrong with you. There is.
Did she kick you out for voting for Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Does that seem radical to you at all, to kick a child out because of how they voted in a presidential election?
A little bit. It was impulsive.
All right, we're going to meet one of Marie's older brothers who say Marie is crazy, conniving, vulgar, deceiver, who is a disappointment. Well, we'll talk to him next.
About a year ago, I told this girl's boyfriend that she was cheating on him, and about a month later, I saw her, and she screamed at me, you ruined my life, and threw an iced coffee at me, and I just started punching her. The girl wound up calling the police, and now I'm banned from the university. Punching her was totally worth it.
And later, when Marie revealed a secret, it rocked this family to the core.
It was like my worst nightmare come true.
All of this is my fault.
Jan, you shouldn't be taking the blame. That's just the way I am.
When Marie was 18, she voted for Hillary Clinton. And I was very upset with that.
My mom said it was a sin to vote for her. Hillary's an evil person, the baby killer, and she was just so angry that she told me, get all your and get out.
I did kick her out of the house impulsively.
I can't really think of any times that my mom has actually supported my decision.
Shirley says when Marie voted for Hillary Clinton, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. But Marie says she is thankful to be out of the house and free from her mother's religious shackles. Now, Marie's older brother, Scott, says Marie's rebellious behavior is an embarrassment to the family, and he thinks his mother is conservative, but that her expectations of his sister are just simply not unreasonable. So you think that she's just trying to be a reasonable moral compass for your sister?
Yes, a loving mother.
Uh-huh. And you think her behavior is what? How would you describe her behavior?
It's destructive, and it's a slap in the face to my mother, who's you know, she's a single mother raising us.
You think that her behavior is what? You think it's dangerous?
Very dangerous.
You described it as conniving, malicious, vulgar, that she's a deceiver.
Yes, she is.
And doesn't love or want to be part of this family. Why do you think that is?
She just has different opinions and beliefs than we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it started from a young age. She started deceiving my mom and rebelling. And I always used to tell her, Marie, you're going down the wrong path. You're going to get worse if you keep living this lifestyle. And look where she is today. She's on the Dr. Phil show.
Because you guys brought me here.
And she really likes the attention. She loves the attention.
You know you love
So
it.
do you.
No, we're doing
Mom
this for
love
you.
it. I'm doing it for you.
Because we love you.
Is a message that she gets from you that you love her or that you judge her? Be honest. I mean,
I love her. That's why she reached out to me for money, because she knew I would help her, because I'll do anything
And
for
how
her.
about you? What's your message? That you love her or that you judge her?
That I love her, that, you know, I want her to be a part of our family. I want to communicate with her. She's been so distant from our family, probably since she's been about 13 or 14. Yes. She would live at the house, and she'd always stay in her room. She wouldn't communicate with us. She doesn't socialize with us. She would only come out to eat food, then she'd go back in her room. And when I try and communicate with her or talk to her, you'd get a few word answers like, yeah, okay. Then she's back in her room. We've been to therapists probably 5 or 6 times.
6.
And then when she was 18, she quit. She says, I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't help me anyway. So
And look, if she doesn't want to be Catholic, that's her decision, and I'm going to respect her that's her human decision to make. But what really worries me is the destructive life she's living. In a few years, she could be dead, or she can catch some illness, a disease from a man who she's sleeping with.
All right, let's talk about this. We're going to take a break here. And coming up, Marie's oldest brother says Marie's promiscuous behavior is actually his fault. And he's going to tell us why. And we're going to take a look at something that I've brought up already, and that is there a double standard here? If her behavior is high risk, if her behavior is destructive, if her behavior communicates that she does not value and respect herself, is there a reason for that? If she doesn't want to be part of this family, if she in fact is distancing herself from this family unit, is there a reason for that? I think the answers are yes, yes, and yes. We're going to find out why when we come back.
I'm really afraid that what I did to Marie may have caused her to end up where she is today.
Jan asked me to keep it a secret, and I kept it a secret for about 10 years.
And later,
You lied to me. Why is it funny? Why is being a prostitute funny?
You're a waste of a life right now.
I'm a waste of a life.
Sorry, Dr. Phil, but
you should be sorry.
I have 3 older brothers, and I hardly talk to any of them. My mom was always treating my brothers better. They got to wear what they want. They got to listen to what they want. They got to go to whatever friend's house they wanted to. None of my brothers really had to endure what I went through, so they don't really understand me.
Marie felt her brothers didn't have to follow as many rules growing up. Their mother Shirley raised them as strict Catholics, which meant church every Sunday, no pop music, no TV, no R-rated anything, and certainly no sex before marriage. So when Marie revealed a secret that she had been keeping for 10 years, it rocked this family to the core.
When I was 4 or 5, my oldest brother Jan molested me.
I was in 5th grade. I had heard about pornography from kids at school, and when I was 12, I would use our computer to view pornography, and because I had viewed that, I ended up abusing my sister, Marie.
It happened whenever we were left alone together, when he would like babysit me or something.
After I abused her, I was very scared, and I begged her not to tell anyone. I gave her money to not say anything to my family.
Jan asked me to keep it a secret, and I kept it a secret for about 10 years.
I came home from work, and my mom told me she knew what I had done exactly. I just started crying, a bitter, heaving sorrow of guilt over what I had done. The truth was very cathartic, but I was not completely relieved after that, because we could already see my sister beginning to be rebellious, beginning to sneak out, and was drinking underage. I'm really afraid that what I did to Marie may have caused her to end up where she is today.
I don't think what happened back then affects how I act now. I just try not to think about it.
Thank you for being here. And this is something that occurred when you were a child, but still older than her. You talked about this inside the family, and it's not easy for you to be here and talk about this today, right?
Right. I'm not qualified to be judgmental for Marie at all, and I've communicated that to her many times, but I'm really sad that she has never reached out to me, and I feel very helpless as an older brother. I feel like all of this is my fault.
When you told your mother about this, why did it come up when it did?
I just remember me and my mom were in an argument, and yeah, we were.
I picked you up on your
Yes.
very last day of school. We were
I
driving
know.
home from your freshman year.
Yes.
And I asked, because you were real bitchy, like you usually were, moody.
Well,
And
it was an
I said,
argument to me because I was angry. That's how I remember
okay,
it.
whatever, I don't know. So I'd been asking her for years, Marie, has anyone ever molested you? Has anyone ever done that? Because I saw the same signs in her, what happened to me. And she kept saying no and no through the years. And finally, on that very day in the car, she blurted out, yes, Jan did this, blah, blah, blah. And I just freaked out. I was hysterical in the car because it was like my worst nightmare come true. What happened to her happened to me.
And what did you do?
I thought, well, I have to get Marie to counseling, therapy. We have to work on this, get her help to overcome this trauma.
Marie isn't the only one in the family to have dealt with sexual abuse. Let's just put this on the table.
Because I had been molested in the past, it allows me to understand Marie more. When I was about 6 years old, my dad started to molest me. And that continued until I was 16 years old. Because of the sexual abuse, I wanted to distance myself from my family. It caused me to seek out men's attentions through sex. And I can see that's what Marie is doing now. But I was able to change through my faith. Pray for us sinners now. I want Marie to be able to do the same thing. If Marie turns to her faith again, she will stay away from these evils like prostitution.
Did you know that this had happened to your mother?
Yeah, she told me about it a lot.
And when you shared this with your mother, how did you feel about that? Were you glad you did or sad you did? You wish you hadn't? Glad you did?
I mean, I'm really glad I did, but I felt really bad just for making her so distraught. But I mean, I don't regret telling her, and I'm glad I spoke up about it.
And how do you feel towards your brother, Jan?
Jan, at this point, I'm old enough, I don't have anger for it anymore. Like, it was so long ago. I know he's very, very sorry. So, and I forgive him. Jan, you shouldn't be taking the blame for the reason that I'm rebellious, because I think that's totally wrong. I was
you
bound.
are rebellious.
Yes, I know. And I'm saying you shouldn't take the blame for that, Jan. That didn't affect me as strongly as you guys think it did. That's what I believe, because I think I would have been this way either way.
And why do you think you would be this way anyway?
I don't know. I think that's just the way I am. Ever since I was young, I've even just felt rebellious, I guess.
Do you think there's a double standard in this family?
I think so.
Why?
Because they're boys, and I don't know. They've always just been good. They've always been on the good side. I mean, maybe not you, Jan. But
Yeah.
Nice.
And, yeah.
But I mean, but like now you are. You know?
Well, Scott says he wasn't mad at Jan for molesting Marie because it only happened a few times. We'll talk about what he means by that and let him explain when we come back. Closed captioning provided by...
When I heard what happened to Marie, I felt sadness for her and for my brother Jan. And as a Christian, I forgave him. At the time, I told Marie I was sorry that happened to her, but it's not an excuse for the lifestyle she's living right now.
Well, that was Scott, who thinks his sister Marie is acting out really to shock the family. So what's your plan? What's your plan? Where do you think you'll be 5 years from now?
I want to go to college, and then, I don't know, I want to start working in either like public speaking or working with people.
You're going to college, but you've already been kicked off of 2 campuses. You even displayed on your Twitter right there that
I
you
don't
got...
care.
Oh, you don't care. That's always what you always say for the last several years. I don't care.
That's how I feel like you feel about us. You don't care about us. So,
It's
thanks.
just,
Okay.
And why is it funny? Why is being a prostitute funny? Why are you always laughing?
That's
Is
very
it funny?
serious, Marie. It's not funny.
You're
I
a
laugh when I'm
prostitute.
you have so much potential, but you're a waste of a life right now.
I'm a waste of a life.
Yes, the way you're living currently, yes.
Thank
It's very
you.
sad.
It breaks my heart. It really, I feel like that is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. You can't, I'm sorry, but you say, oh, you shouldn't blame yourself for this, Jan. Well, I'm your older brother. I do. And as long as you aren't going to call me or talk to the family and be distant from us, I am going to blame myself for this. So don't think you're the only one with angst, all right? Because you really get that way.
Why is it funny? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. That's just how I act.
Because she wants to be famous. This is her time. That's why.
I just want.
You cannot be that shallow to make that idiotic comment.
She loves the attention.
You cannot be that shallow.
She loves the attention, Dr. Phil.
You cannot be that self-righteous and sanctimonious to sit down there and make that idiotic statement.
I'm sorry, Dr. Phil, but...
Well, you should be sorry.
I'm sorry, but she likes the attention right now.
Then why did you guys bring me on here?
She just said on Twitter that this is her moment to become the next famous girl
To
who's
help
on
you
Dr. Phil.
from your dangerous lifestyle,
You know,
prostitution.
you guys
that's
talk out
worse.
of both sides of your mouth. You sit there and you say you realize that the trauma has been visited upon her at this point, and then in the same breath, you criticize her for behaving in an immature fashion, when you well know that her emotional and social development is arrested at the point that she becomes a victim of this molestation. If you care about her enough, then you've done your homework to know what's really going on here, and you don't sit there and make idiotic, critical, damning comments about somebody behaving the way she's behaving.
I do know.
You don't know,
I
and you
do.
wouldn't have every comment in your mouth be negative. You've
I
not
do
said
know.
one positive thing about this young woman since you walked out here. You haven't said one positive thing about her since we
She's
started
not
talking to
positive
you.
towards us. She's not positive towards us. I want to love her. I want a relationship. I want a relationship with my daughter.
What do you mean you want to love her?
I do love her.
Then don't say you want to love her.
Well,
you
I
can
said
love
it
her
wrong.
and hate her behavior.
I do love her.
And you are the most powerful role model in your child's life.
I
and
am.
she needs you.
I need her too.
She needs you. And she
Yes.
doesn't need you to judge everything she does. And trust me,
Does she really need me?
she's doing this for you.
Good. I love that.
She's doing this for you. She's doing it
Good.
to
That
be
is true.
seen and heard and get some attention. And if you continue to judge everything she does, she's going to continue to be more and more outrageous and more rebellious.
I'm trying not to judge her. I'm just afraid for her.
Then you need to be
Afraid.
building roads, not blowing up bridges.
I am trying to build roads. She won't talk to me. She won't.
We
talk
do
to me.
try to build roads. We do.
I try to
She's
talk
very
to
closed
her.
off to us, Phil.
She won't
Very, very
respond
closed
to
off.
You
us.
do it by criticizing her. And
No.
all right, look, we're going to take a break. Then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I think's going on, and I'm going to tell you what I think you can do to get this back under control. Marie says that her mother does have a double standard, including how she treats not only her brothers, but the man she's married to. It's like she has a functional blindness when she wants to, and 20/20 vision when she chooses. We'll be right back. Have you heard about this opioid crisis?
Yeah, that's just a bunch of hysteria.
91 people a day are dying from opioid overdose.
Yeah, from illegal street drugs, illegal
No.
opioids.
Closed captioning provided by...
My mom has told me that Marie has a sugar daddy, but I don't want to believe that. If I found out Marie was selling herself for money, I couldn't truly be happy until I die, because I would be responsible for teaching her that behavior.
Jan says he apologized to Marie for what he did, but he says he can't stop feeling guilty and responsible for her behavior. And I understand that, and I give you a lot of credit for being here, and a lot of credit for owning this, and a lot of credit for looking her in the eye, not once, not twice, but every day of your life and her life until you get this right. And I applaud you for that, and I hope you continue to do that. I got an email from you on October 9th of 2015. And in this email, you said, I am ready to cut all ties with my family because of their refusal to face the incest issue that occurred when we were children. I have suffered from anxiety, depression, flashbacks, and I have a lot of anger towards my mother who refuses to deal with this issue. I felt tremendous repressions surfacing. You didn't even mention this at the time because there were other fires burning very hot for you at the time.
Yes.
And you need to listen to what I'm saying to her, because this can continue to be a serious problem. And the reason she feels like she is in the crosshairs, and the reason I'm saying you need to find something positive to say about this girl and not just picking at the things she's doing that are wrong, and I'm going to agree with you about the wrong stuff here in just a minute in a really big way, is she says you're married now, right?
Yes, I'm remarried.
And you're very concerned about your husband, correct?
Oh, he has chronic pain issues too, like me. We live with it day to day.
Uh-huh. And he medicates those issues?
Yes, he goes to a doctor, yes.
Uh-huh. And how does he medicate those issues?
Pain pills,
Opioids.
opioids.
Yeah. And how long has he been medicating those with opioids?
He's been to a doctor probably 2 years. What? He has chronic pain.
2 years.
Okay. And he's on opioids for 2 years, and you're justifying that.
Yeah, he has chronic pain.
Have you heard about this thing that's in the paper a lot called the opioid crisis?
Yeah, that's just a bunch of hysteria. It is. It is. I am part of a chronic pain group, and it is. It's a hysteria. I understand people abuse it, but when people live with chronic pain, and that's all we can do, I can't tell you how difficult it is to live with chronic pain.
We took her to the ER 2 nights ago here in LA.
Yes,
She
I
had
went
so
to
much
the ER.
pain.
I opened one of the first inpatient pain clinics in the United States many, many years ago. And to say that the opioid crisis is a bunch of hysteria, yeah, that's a double standard. 91 people a day are dying from opioid overdose.
Yeah, from illegal street drugs, illegal
No.
Illegal.
No.
It's the Chinese fentanyl and
your
the Mexican
body
heroin.
doesn't know
I know.
whether you got it with a piece of
I am
paper in
not
your hand
taking
or whether
street
you
drugs,
don't. I'm not
and
talking to you.
I never take street drugs.
I'm not talking to you, and I'm not going to spend her time debating with you about whether there's a genuine opioid crisis in America, because I'm going to tell you there is.
I don't know.
And-
Sorry.
Well, I've spent 45 years in this profession, and I'm going to tell you that opioids are a crisis in this country, and they are very expensive, so people stop doing them and then start doing heroin because it's cheaper. These 3 people sitting right here are, in my opinion, terribly misguided and unquestionably well-intended. There is something that, if I can have a whiteboard here, there's something I want you to remember, because I'm going to write it down. It is what I call the but-for test. If I'm trying to figure out why something happened, I go back and I am looking for the first link in the chain, because everything is linked together. And I'm always going back and looking for that first link. And I'm not sure what the first link is in your chain, but I know right now that you are showing a lot of high-risk behaviors. You're conducting your life in a way that you're at high risk for rape, you're at high risk for assault, you're at high risk for death, you're at high risk for any number of violent, bad outcomes. And that tells me that you don't value yourself very well. You are an intelligent, articulate, beautiful young woman. And there are givers and takers in this world, and to whom much is given, much is expected. You've been given good health, you've been given a good mind. So what's the first link? When you look at the first link, was it what happened to you with Jan? maybe that's a first link in you devaluing yourself and thinking all you have to offer is your body. Was it your father dying when you were 9? You were a daddy's girl. The biggest fan you ever had in this life left you when you were 9. It's like, wow. You know, the person that thought I got up every day and lit up the world is gone. Is that a first link? I don't know. These things conspire and come together. You aren't responsible for what happened to you then, but you're responsible for what you do about it now. So the question here becomes is, can Shirley and Marie build this road that I'm talking about so they can have a relationship where they can be together and not judge and criticize and clash and rebuild a relationship that will cause this value to flourish again? We'll talk about that when we come back. Closed captioning provided by. It would be so terrific if you would take an assignment, and this might cause your head to explode, but if you two had an assignment where maybe it was at lunch or something, you met for an hour a week for 4 weeks in a row for lunch in a public place, and you could not discuss one thing of substance, you could not render one judgment about anything that was going on, but you just got to know your daughter again. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't judge a single thing. That's why I said your head might explode. Yeah. Because just to get to know, just find out, really, you say you don't know her anymore.
I don't know her. She's a stranger. She looks more...
But wouldn't you like to get to know her
Sure.
again? Wouldn't you like to get to know her again? But you can't do that if she knows that every time she says A, B is going to be a judgment, a criticism, or a put down, even if you're right about it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just have to choose not to react.
Sure, I'd love to talk to her.
You have to choose not to react. Do you think I think it's okay that she's hooking up with sugar daddies?
No.
Even one time? That's the most absurd thing ever, ever, ever. That's the most absurd thing ever. That's so beneath her. That is absolutely so beneath her. And the reason that bothers him so much is he paid you at the time when you were 4 or 5, $2. And he paid you to keep quiet, $2. And now you're going out and getting paid to do things concerning your body, and he's seeing the parallel there and saying, oh my God, I set up the metrics for this many years ago. But not just that,
I feel like I can't be her older brother anymore.
I know, but you can and you are, and you can and you are, and she has found the grace in her heart to forgive you, knowing that you were a child and she was a child, and it doesn't make it okay, but she's found the grace in her heart to forgive you for that. And the rudest thing you can do is to refuse that forgiveness. And you really need to understand that you have some open wounds that have not been healed. There are some very specialized therapists that deal with some of the things you've been through, and I'm going to make that specialized care available to you and to you.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I want this to stop being a cancer growing on this family. And so I want to help you with it, I want to help you with it, I want to help you with it. It begins individually, and then it comes together as a family. So please accept that help and hear what I'm saying when I'm talking to you about this high-risk behavior and recognizing that it's time for you to choose a different path. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop right there. I want to thank my guests for today. For information about today's show, go to drphil.com. If you want to join the conversation, you can go to Facebook and Twitter. You never know when I'm going to pop up and tell you what I think about what you think. Thanks for being here. So long.